And I'm live. Hello. Oh, nobody's here yet. Let's see. Let me move my microphone a little closer and try not to step on Simon as I get closer to the microphone. Okay. Oh, I was going to go get some water too, which I forgot to do that. So hold on, everybody. I'm going to go get some water. And we're back. Okay. Got the water. All right. So, all right. So we are now on chapter 24. And hopefully the dogs will be quiet for this one, or for at least one more. All right, so here we go. I'm going to hit the record button, and we're off. Note number 24. Drive the bus. Just drive the bus, he says. Except no one reminded him that I'm a choir director, not a bus driver. A former pastor used to say this phrase, especially when it came to getting upset about someone in the church. Since I was the church choir director, I remained keenly aware of members joining and leaving. I run a church music program. People come and go from the church. People come and grow from the chorus. But the general trend always seems to point upward. I'm a trained classical musician with a background in conducting and choral music literature who went to school many years. I used to teach courses about classical music, give stern warnings to budding composers about not using second inversion chords, and assured many people that movable do solfege and the rhythm syllables of Edwin Gordon were the best way to teach music reading. Today, my position occasionally involves conducting and working with choirs, and more often, it consists of working with personalities and shepherding volunteers. Some tell me that volunteers are easier. They want to be here. Some tell me that students are easier. They must be here. Neither are wrong. When I taught school, I had a captive audience, sort of. They got to choose whether they came to rehearsal. Most of the time they did, but sometimes they would miss, and I would see them in the hallways or in other buildings a few hours later. I might have felt a little bit smug that I caught them. Volunteers, though, if they don't come, they don't necessarily give reasons. Sometimes their reasons are frivolous or silly. Other times they are serious. Just drive the bus, John kept saying. Teaching school choirs and leading volunteer choirs have a lot in common. In both cases, their time is important. They both want to do a good job, or they wouldn't have joined. Both attract people who like making a difference. Both consist of people with a love of music and of being together. In fact, sometimes people love being in the choir because they don't have to reveal too much of themselves to belong to a group. Then one day, someone leaves. It's not you, it's me, they proclaim. Maybe they have a new conflict. Maybe a parent is ill or a child needs additional help. Maybe they just don't like rehearsals. There are multiple reasons why people volunteer and why they stay. One, a volunteer feels needed. People love to feel like they make a difference. I tell my choir, thank you for a great rehearsal. Of course, in a musical organization, if they feel like they are positively contributing, they keep coming back. Often, I pair newbies with someone experienced, asking them to sit together to establish a bond and indoctrinate them into the routine. Two, their job is clear. Volunteers stay because they have a clearly defined job. Their job may be to come to rehearsals, sharpen pencils, make coffee, or buy supplies. People tend to stay if they have a job to do and don't feel overwhelmed. Also, they know when that job ends. Three, they may have other priorities, but that's okay. Everyone needs a vacation. Has a relative who needs them, an anniversary, birthday, or other significant event that causes them to miss? No problem. Tell them how much you'll miss them. Everyone is entitled to a life of their own. 4. They don't have to run the entire show. One of my flaws is to try and run everything. For most volunteers, this isn't the case. Giving a lot of people smaller jobs engages more people. That being said, a few people like to have larger jobs so they feel like they can leave their mark on the volunteer program. Number 5, their motivation may not be the same as yours. Recently, I volunteered at the church food drive and discovered that some of the hardest workers are the school kids. Their main motivation is to accrue hours for honor society, which is better. Who cares? If people are there, their motivation doesn't matter. As COVID-19 struck the world, my choir went from faithful and dependable to online only in the blink of an eye. Recently, we reminded each other how things changed so quickly. Remember when they quit letting people in the grocery store? Remember when the malls and school closed? Remember when we were all stuck at home for months, where our lives had been somewhat normal just one day earlier? As someone who works with volunteers, I'm faced with the constant pull of people's responsibilities versus their attraction to my musical programs. I also had to learn that ultimately, we are all just temporary. I learned to quit taking it personally when someone couldn't volunteer because of some important occasion in their life. They wanted to be there, and if they had to miss, they respected me enough to let me know. I kept my door open to listen. In short, I started saying yes. It's not because they don't like me or want nothing to do with the choir. They are just leading lives too, and I've learned to be more understanding. When we are in charge, especially of volunteers, we are like bus drivers. Sometimes people like riding the bus. They like the people who go with them on the journey. Some people ride the bus regularly for whatever reason. Ultimately, it's a bus. People get on the bus and they get off the bus. Just drive the bus, says Pastor John. Simple and elegant. It takes away my need to explain everyone else's actions. We don't have to be in charge today. Just drive the bus. Ah, here it is. Note number 25. Okay, hit the return button on that. All right, I've made my mark for the next chapter, and on we go. Ha ha ha. Hi. Hi. All right, so now we go on to, I'll do one more chapter today. Hi, too. So I see one person has left the chat, but one person is here. Hi, Young Chu. Um, here's